So this is my top 10 anime of 2023. Spoilers ahead. Let's get into it. So this may be a hot take putting Link Click Season 2 on this list, since I've seen no one ever talk about it. It is definitely one of the most underrated anime of the year, with its great animation, storytelling that keeps me on the edge of my seat, and the infamous cliffhangers at the end of every episode. Compared to the first season, this one is action-packed with a lot of mind games between the protagonist and antagonist that come together perfectly at the end. And the amount of risk involved is so much greater than it was in the first season, making it even more intense. It is a great season that just improved upon the first. I have never watched an anime that put me in as good of a mood as Zom 100. From a man who was always happy, to becoming locked in a state of oppressive servitude to a corrupt corporation, only to get saved by a zombie apocalypse that destroys society. The tone throughout this whole show is very upbeat, even during the sad moments. The colors are extremely vibrant, which just shows Akira's outlook on the world as a carefree guy just wanting to accomplish the things that he never did before. It is just an overall fun anime to watch. This has some of the most consistent quality that I've seen in anime. The story is constantly interesting, with the focal point of all the attention is on the main character Mao Mao. She steals the show throughout this anime with her nonchalant yet knowledgeable demeanor when talking. Yet she has an excited, bubbly attitude towards things that she is passionate about, like testing poisons on herself. She not only attracts the audience's attention, but also the characters in the show. She catches the eye of every character she interacts with, whether that be respect, fear, or even love. The first episode is by far the best first episode of the year. The attachment you get to Ai after seeing how she is finally making it as an accomplished singer, actor, and even a mother, only for her to die by the hands of an obsessed stalker while holding her child. The storytelling of this scene really makes you feel the impact it had on Aqua and cemented his reasoning of why he is going after this lifelong revenge to avenge his mother. The side characters in this are also very interesting, with all of them having their own motivations and ambitions that you get more connected to as you continue watching. This storytelling, followed by absolutely beautiful art design, makes this a must-watch. What a beautiful show. The animation, art style, storytelling are all just beautiful. Frieren's long lifespan and leisure attitude towards life is really just a parallel to how the overall show is. The slow storytelling really allows us to enjoy the character's development during the show, without having to tell us directly with rushed dialogue or overused action scenes. It is a way more grounded show that focuses on the story and the characters with their development throughout their adventure together. There's not much else to say about the show than just how beautiful everything about it is. Rudeus's depression in the beginning of the season feels so real. A man who has never had anyone love him finally gets someone who he thinks loves him back, only to leave him with an explanation that he took the wrong way. Feeling devoid of emotion as an empty shell, he tries to find people to connect with again to stop this feeling of loneliness. When he thinks he finds someone he cares about, he realizes that he still can't get over the one that left him. This is such a hard-hitting character arc that you can't help just to feel bad for Rudeus. It does become more lighthearted at the end of the season though, which I think is a good balance to the darker tone of the beginning, with him finding the one he truly cares about, and truly cures his state of depression, and the other characters who help support him along the way. Now, I started watching Bungou Stray Dogs just because I have heard the great reviews of Season 5, and I am so glad I did. The stakes in this season are the highest that I've ever felt in anime. Watching this weekly, I would always be on the edge of my seat wondering what is going to happen next. The battles between every character are so intense because it feels like anything could happen. There was not only one intense battle going on, but two. There was Everyone versus Fukuchi and Dazai versus Fyodor. Both Fukuchi and Fyodor during the whole season seemed like unstoppable beasts. Fukuchi had multiple battles, with some being very close to him dying, but he always ended up on top, and Fyodor being an intelligent powerhouse that outsmarted any opponent. Seeing the protagonists go against these two was amazing, and made for a very intense season. After 10 years, the finale to Attack on Titan is finally here, and it is amazing. The action, the visuals, and of course the great story that comes to an end. The idea of Eren doing everything for his friends to have a peaceful life, disregarding the rest of the world because of their neglect for Paradis, is a very interesting ideology. Then at the end of Peace, after his friends pass away, war starts again as an endless cycle of war continues in the world. Mikasa's arc also comes to a great end, where she kills the man she loves to save the world, but doesn't forget him, even dying with a scarf that Eren gave her. Everything and everyone had a satisfying, peaceful ending that followed their lives of constant war for survival. Thorfinn's arc to non-violence and realizing what his father envisioned for him is peak character development. Compared to Season 1, this season is way slower in terms of action, but it doesn't matter because the story is done so well. Seeing Thorfinn at the beginning of the season being very depressed and isolated, then opening up to his friend is really beautiful. Then when the time comes for conflict, Thorfinn has an extreme mental battle, fighting against his past self and the one who he wants to become, even willing to take 100 punches rather than fighting back and giving into his bloodthirsty nature. All of the supporting characters are amazing too, with them all having different ideologies on war and conflict that opposes Thorfinn, specifically Canute. Canute seeks power to have peace, while Thorfinn seeks pacifism to have peace. Thorfinn thought Canute's ideology would create a cycle of constant conflict with no peace, and Canute thinks there must be conflict to attain absolute peace. These dynamics are so interesting since they were both so different as children, with Canute not seeking power, then turning into someone who only seeks power, and Thorfinn seeking power, but turns into someone who doesn't want anything to do with it. The different philosophies in the show are so in-depth and dynamic that it is so interesting to see how the characters develop because of it. What an amazing season. Every single episode in this season is amazing. The characters, Gojo, Geto, Toji, Sukuna, Yuji, Mahito, Jogo, are all amazing. The fights are the best fights of the year, hands down. Almost every single fight in the show was trending, and for a good reason. The choreography, the visuals, the character struggles during the fight were all so perfect. Trauma is also a big theme during the season, with Geto being traumatized by Riko's death, changing his whole ideology about non-curse users. Gojo being traumatized by having to kill his best and only friend, causing him to be captured by the curse controlling his friend's body. But especially Yuji, who during this whole season was put through the ringer of trauma, being controlled by Sukuna to wipe a whole city from existing, to seeing his friends and mentors die right in front of him, while having to keep pushing through and fighting regardless. This season is just so fun to watch, and just like most people, I was looking forward to every Thursday to watch another episode. This is a fantastic season, and definitely deserves my #1 anime of the year. So, that's pretty much it. JJK #1, can't change my mind. See ya.